This call is being recorded.
This is Melinda, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you for calling in. I am recording our conversation, so please do not hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions. I see you commented superpowers, so this is going to be fun. I will definitely do what I can to unveil that. And I mean, right off the bat, um, you did mention you were born May 24th. So we see you are one of us. You are an angel. Oh my goodness. And you're also an alien. So it's not a coincidence you mentioned superpowers because you actually have a super powerful alien construct in your natal chart, which is
Oh,
exceptionally relevant. You have Saturn in Gemini. And so having Saturn in your sun makes you an angelic karmic lord in a sense where you're responsible for the karma individually of the truth in your experience. It sounds really interesting, but it might be a bit of a burden. I mean, normally I notice people, and then your moon is in Aquarius, which I also wanted to mention. So you have this miraculous grand air trine that, I mean, according to science, technically you wouldn't exist. You'd only exist in fantasy or science fiction. I bet this actually denotes a special form of telepathy, which I'll speak on. But seeing that your rising is in Cancer, this makes you a cardinal bishop. And so your sun in the 12th house now brings the angelic nature of your being transcendent status. So you're actually a transcendent angel, which is very, very relevant in the sense where in the 12th house, you may spend most of your life misunderstood because of your true experience. Oh, and this is opposite Neptune and Sag too.
oh,
So
that's the truth.
visions. Oh yeah, because like the truth you experience is not gonna be what anyone else experiences because it's like you're literally blending the astral realm understanding of the experience with everyone else. And so people may just kind of think you're delusional when realistically you're telling the super truth. It's not even the truth, it's like the super truth. And people, unless they're already kind of on that level, may not get it or just kind of think you're lying. And just to kind of put context to that, you can literally walk up to somebody and like you can speak to them about something that they were just telling their friend about, and now they think maybe you spied on them or something when really you're just so tapped into the mental realm. You're blending the truth that connects everyone to everyone else, and I hate to say it like that because it's not as simple as that, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, actually.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad it makes sense. Because like being in the 12th house like this is like being in a coffee shop, right? And you're in a room where everyone's talking, right? But you hear the soul of the conversation. So it's like everyone has their own individual conversations, but you hear how all those conversations correlate and connect together. You hear the message that like the connection of the room is. And we see with your moon in Aquarius on Jupiter, this gives you the vibration of the cosmic truth, cosmic enlightenment. As a Capricorn moon Gemini, the only like Geminis I respect have, or really I just respect Aquarius. So Aquarius moon and Pisces moon are like the only higher level Gemini energies you can have. And Aqua moon Gemini,
Really?
oh yeah. In fact, I'll just go out and say the Aqua moon Gemini is the only Gemini that actually knows what they're saying. Like all of us, we don't know. We're just telling the truth.
I'm going to tell my son that, okay?
I love that. And
Shit.
it's interesting though because Saturn in the 12th is very difficult. It's a karmic lesson that can make career, especially with the MC in the 12th, where oh my gosh, and then you have Neptune in the 6th. None of this really favors working a 9 to 5 job. You can be employee, but this is really more living a life based on your intuitive guidance with the creator and spirit. Saturn in the 12th, once again, it's not like you can't, but Saturn in the 12th releases in this karmic lifetime like this the work ethic or the whole need to work. But what that really means is it aligns your karma to the less fortunate. So you may find that you help those who are mentally ill or those who may not be in a position to help themselves. And this could be
Wow.
in people who are even healthy. Like you can kind of know where even the most societally seen healthy person has mental problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so
people come up and talk to me and they'll be like, I don't think I want to talk to you right now because you probably just made me cry.
oh
Something
my
like
god.
that. I'm like, okay.
And Cancer rising is the high priestess. So the 12th house Gemini is you're directly connected with angels. But get this, as a Saturn sun, you're now in the karmic, you literally have all karmic authority over the angelic realm. So you have the magical ability to command angels as a cosmic angel yourself. And then the king of the Olympian gods, Jupiter, is on your moon. So that gives you a soul royalty aspect, which expands the knowledge of what you're communicating. It's a fancy way of saying you really know what you truly know what you're saying. And of course, as I'll mention, the Libra aspect claircognizantly links this understanding of the character of who you're speaking to. So you actually speak to people. Like you can speak to someone who you just met and then use the language and accent that they use, which will freak them out because it's like, how did you know to use that word that only I use and we just met? And you might not even be aware. So have you experienced that at all?
Yeah.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. So I just kind of wanted to piece this together because a lot of the archetypalization of this energy is not based in reality at all because you're an angel. And so that's something to keep in mind. Being in the 12th house, you are a legend. And now, if we kind of make sense of this, Gemini, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn in the 12th house is not just as karmic authority. Saturn, Sun, aliens, Saturn power aliens. You can manifest from the heart, create sacred forms and altars, turn time backward and forward, create successful empires, recognize false leaders and ego driven schemes, lead humanity into the new age. A lot of how this energy manifests itself for you with Saturn puts you in a position to now hold the authority and karma over the truth and over what people say. So your word is law. It can actually give you a serious distaste for liars because it kind of you'll spirit will literally give out karmic penalties if people make the mistake of lying to you for some dumb reason. But this is going to be hidden. And the difficult thing about the 12th house is that it can represent hidden elements of your own mind that you're not always conscious to. It's just with your sun in the 12th. Maybe you're aware of this in other people. The opposition to Neptune in the 6th, which is what I love about the 70s Geminis, is that your intuition is now clairvoyantly expressed to intertwine your behavior around your awareness of your relationships with others to discern intuitively the behavior of the collective around you and also how you take your ideas and visualize the routine and lifestyle you want to live. That square to Mars and Pisces now enables you to take action imaginatively based on how you warp reality in this vein, which honestly that sounds sci-fi. I'm not gonna lie, because like you can literally just visualize the day you want to live and then like reality around you will start to form to manifest that or live that passionately.
Yes, I've had magical shit happen. I was just like, this is what magical it is. And there's a rainbow. And then there's something else. And I was like, okay, all right, okay.
A lot of what you said cut out, but I think I heard a bit of it. And what I love about that is for the longest time, this could have been unconscious to you. Like maybe you could have just treated this as coincidence, or maybe you just might have not. With energy like this, you can literally just be like, I want to see a magical elephant, and then a truck passes behind you with a magical elephant and you never saw it, but you did it.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
and so this North Node in Gemini aspect fully unlocked now all this angelic legendary magic and your ability to connect with angels directly and see how it works. So I just kind of want to emphasize that T square is super magical. And I feel like the Saturn in Gemini holds an integrity to Neptune, because Neptune and Sagittarius can be very unstable. Yeah, you can see visions, but you may not always be able to make sense of what you're seeing. But since you have Saturn in Gemini, every vision you see is in alignment with truth. So you can trust that everything you see from the spiritual realm, let's say, is exactly what you're seeing,
Right.
which once again is just very awesome in my opinion. It definitely goes a long way towards actualizing all these cycles you've completed coming up to now, which puts you more in a position to realistically not just own up to all this, but now create the world post this new moon Sagittarius that you see fit to create, which once again, super awesome. And I think
Yes.
moving forward is going to have you apply this towards your relationships with everybody else and how this impacts everybody else you are with and around. So, did you have okay, no, no. So we also see you have Chiron and Aries, and correct me if I'm wrong. Um, Chiron in the 10th house would denote that what you're healing is the assertive nature of how you assert your own value in your career, in the sense where maybe private influences like family members or people in your private world may unconventionally kind of make you feel crazy or hold you back from the personification of success you want to step into. And Chiron in the 10th is just being your own leader, whether people, it's not about people believing in you, but it's like owning up to your value and allowing yourself to assertively express yourself without people trying to like undermine you. It doesn't have to be like that, but does that resonate at
No,
all?
that's true. That's true.
Oh wow, because I see with Pluto it can almost be manipulative here too, like you're made to feel selfish for going after your goals when really it's the right thing to do.
Wow. Yes.
I'm sorry, what was that? What was that? Uh-oh. Hello? Oh, you're going a little bit in and out, but I can hear you a little bit. Hello? Hello?
So
Oh, okay, I can hear you a little bit.
just keep going.
Oh, there we go, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, um, because your sun is in Gemini, you may be aware of this in terms of how you also inspire your friends or kind of form this in your communities. But yeah, it's really interesting seeing that as a Cancer rising, you possess all of this grand air trine energy, let's just say. A lot of this is going to express itself in your willingness and ability to more so or less experience this within the psychological nature of people's minds. So the way that you tap into most of this power and magic puts you in a position to really psychologically make sense of the way people think and how people align. So like your existence here in the 12th, you're able to see the hidden nature of people's minds, and it's almost as if you can control it too with your language, and people will never even know that the conversations you're having with them is revealing their innermost thoughts, because it may be somewhat indirect in the way you do so in an effort to facilitate and reveal who they truly are, which is very powerful. A lot of this really goes into like behavioral cognitive therapy, where you can use visual images to kind of like bring out people's true intent, or like lead people in visual conversation to see based on their reaction what they really think and feel. It's very fascinating because once again, the moon in the eighth with Jupiter, you come into, so first of all, Jupiter and Saturn that's returned and gone through the eighth is you drawing advanced boundaries because it's expanding the knowledge of who you're dealing with. But the moon is such an extraordinary receptivity to dealing with others and the knowledge you gain from there that within one conversation, people may not be aware that you have gained all the secret knowledge about them just in one conversation. Maybe because of their body language, how they communicate. Would you say that people give you secrets that they weren't even trying to, or they don't have to, you just pick it up from them?
All the time.
Wow, that's so interesting.
All the time. Can you hear me better now?
So much better, yeah.
I went outside. It's weird.
I would say it's like a disarming element that you also bring into any conversation that people aren't going to really be able to see because of it's invisible. You know what I mean? It's just really the nature of how calming you are, even though you do have Saturn on your sun, which has brought limitations coming into not recently since you've completed it, but like Saturn can definitely make intimidating how you communicate or how seriously you communicate. Because what this actually does is it forces people to tell you the truth, whether they know it or not.
No,
So, like,
that's true.
right. And it's truly it's like it's literally you're manifesting the karma of Saturn, and you can't lie to the judge. So that's really kind of how that works. And the coolest thing about this is the ruler of your seventh house, where your destiny is in the 12th. So the 12th house could be a bit like a martyr because you're aware of aspects in the mind people are unconscious to. And so you can hold that burden and space for people. You just don't want to let that hold you back because the 12th house is a house of superpowers. And so, you have amazing telepathy. You have the ability to just kind of reflect back to someone what they really think. And with Venus and Mercury here, you have a lot of beauty with your words. Mercury is your ability to process information lightning quick, but Saturn will stabilize how much you crystallize. It's like I remember talking to a Saturn Gemini who was born in 2000, and basically in one conversation, every single idea I had about myself over like the past 10 years, a lot of ideas I would tell myself, like, oh, I should think like this or I should think like that. In one conversation, he crystallized all of that and said basically all of that in one focal point. It's like he brought it all together for me. And that's a lot of what you do as he was a Sagittarius, but this is a lot of what you control as a Gemini. You can focus your mind so powerfully that this actually charges you to manifest anything you say as word being law. So it's an element of vocifery here too, where once you believe in what you're thinking, it will become real. The negative side of this, though, is that you can bring so much anxiety on yourself because you can,
Yes.
right,
Oh my God.
everything negative that you think can come true too. And if you visualize it, you have to always you have to always believe in yourself. A really good book to read would be E Squared and E Cubed by Pam Grout, and Feeling is a Secret, anything by Neville Goddard. That would really be on your way because as an angel, everything that you're reflecting mentally, the universe is instantly manifesting because you're so powerful here. And your thoughts, literally, as a Saturn, vessel, power alien, manifests from the heart and creates into 3D through the thought, through the word. And that would be one thing, but having this high knowledge in Aquarius now allows everything you're thinking to come from the highest quality of knowledge that you pick up in your dealings with others, that Jupiter expands. And then Uranus is that understanding unconventionally of the character that eccentrically has you speak to their higher self or really point out an understanding of people's eccentricities. So the coolest thing about this, we've now made up the fact that you are a cosmic angel. You're extraordinarily knowledgeable in how you express this transcendent nature of your angelic nature too. If Kanye is a 12th house Cancer sun like Edward Khan, they're both 12th house Gemini suns, and this just speaks to how much visionary they are and dreamers they are. It's just Saturn makes this so much more real. So you want to, in overcoming that, Saturn can bring a lot of depression or negativity, and it may feel delusional with the Mars in Pisces, but you have to overcome that by just deciding that you're going to literally create what you're thinking. And like,
I've
even if
gotten much better at that.
that's amazing,
I've gotten much better at that.
even if
Because
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, even if what you're
it's,
seeing shows the opposite, you just still just want to hold that space of positivity and what you intend, and it will literally change in front of your very eyes.
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I'm glad that resonates. So we see now that you also uh, release and transcend this thinking model for others. You can recognize this in others' minds and you influence that. I love how Mars is next to your MC. You're always moving towards your dreams, towards your legacy. You're someone who, with the MC in the ninth, is here to teach about the divine, the abstract, the metaphysical. I mean, even if you were an atheist, the way people would learn from you, you would stimulate their imagination. So it definitely enables you to see the unseen. It's just Mars in Pisces is so abstract, square Neptune. It sometimes you can take action that literally seemingly makes no sense, and then bam, it makes all the sense in the world. It was just perfectly timed. And this is just really following your own rhythms and tune and not having to be so linearly aligned with what's rational in the moment because you're bringing in what's possible through your imagination. And this is where you kind of bridge literally different realms and intertwine it all together through your actions. And with it in the ninth house, basically, anytime you take action towards what you believe, you're going to accomplish it, even if it's impossible in the moment. You're literally creating that with the literal power of your beliefs, which is why the square to Gemini has to allow that. Because sometimes Gemini can be like, that's not logical, though. And Mars is like, I don't care. This is what I believe. And then Gemini is like, okay, I think so, and then boom, it is so. So the coolest thing or the most incredible part about this chart is that you're destined for greatness here. 2020 was the year you kind of transformed your partnerships and you really
Yeah.
stepped into normally during this period people get married, divorced, get into a business partnership. You're upgrading the state of your relationships all through 2020, and 2021 was the transformation year, so 2022 is the ascension year. We're coming into 2023, you come into all the career success you worked hard for. Congratulations. You come into a breakthrough. Yeah, as soon as Jupiter goes through Pisces in the short 5 months, you're going to already manifest the results of career with the North Node in the 11th. The next 2 years is the definitive career cycle that's going to bring into play stuff you didn't even think was possible, but now it's possible. And congratulations, because you did the work already. But your destiny is literally to use your own identity and how sincerely powerful you are to hold others accountable and to integrity. It's like you're bringing your entire angelic nature in order to enable people to live right, to kind of because it's not as simple as just living right. You're using the resources of your own personality to put other people on in relationships. If it was reversed, you'd be using relationships to come into who you are, but you're using who you are to bring greatness to other people, to find success through your relationships that use your all your talents as a resource. And so we see the flow of the chart taking all this energy and focusing it towards relationships with other people, which makes sense because you're an angel. And so that would make sense that as an angel, you're taking all your talents to bring this incredible power to hold others accountable with integrity and make sure they're living their life right. So did you have any questions at all
Well, I mean, I've what I've been wanting to do is get into oracle reading and things like that.
about that? Nice.
And there are certain decks that want to talk through me more than others. And when I talk to people and I'm like, let me just pull a couple cards for you or whatever, they're like, oh my God, I'm in tears right now. And, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure that part out right now.
And you'll find that as we step into next year and Jupiter goes through your ninth, you start to really master that element of those gifts and reading cards, especially. It's like letting the divine kind of come through and expand your understanding of how all that works as well. So it's going to be very exciting, if anything.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, I tell you that much.
That's awesome. I definitely. Well, I mean, other than that, I'm going to send you this recording then, do this reading. And please feel free to keep in touch if there's any questions you want to ask moving forward. You're very well welcome. And you have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
It's good talking to you.
Likewise.
All right.
You
Bye.
stay
pet.
Oh, you stay blessed.